Hi everyone, welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy 2. We are now doing Upside Dizzy Galaxy. And we're actually going to be starting with the secret star in this level. Because, well, I was about to say because it's easier to get, but really just because you get it at the very beginning of the level. I was not expecting this to lead to the secret star when I was playing it. I thought that I was just going to have a fun time breaking these boxes open. Until I realized what is under the boxes, which I probably should have figured with a big stack of boxes like this. There's probably something in it, and wouldn't you know it, there is a poip. And it was at this time that I realized that I probably should leave some of the platforms for myself. I also found out that you cannot fire flower the thing that you're standing on, it seems, which is probably for the best from a game design standpoint. Anyway, what you are going to see is merely my final successful attempt at this reiteration of the minigame. This took me many tries, many more than the first one. I'm sure there is some better strategy for getting all of these quickly than what I am doing. It really just seems to be a matter of, like, grouping them together as much as you can. But I managed to do it just under the wire, so... and, you know, when you're fucking flailing the Wiimote around, you only have so much real control over everything, but... whatever. Yeah, that's a good, like, 10 minutes cut out there. Or probably more like 5. Every time that I have, like, a long string of failures or, like, things I need to cut out of this LP, when I'm playing it, I always am like, oh my god, I probably wasted, like, 15 minutes doing this. But yeah, you can see my playtime was 5.5 minutes, and that includes a little jiggy bigot over at the beginning of the level. But you can see how many tries that'll be, because each try, including, like, talking to the guy, is like 30 seconds, so 5 minutes, you know, as many tries. But I did it, so it's cool. So, anyway, time to do the first star of Upside Dizzy proper as we go through the many worlds that are open to us in World 5 at this juncture. And let's get smacked in the face by a Goomba because I don't know how to jump. And yeah, this is just kind of more gravity business. It's pretty not difficult to do. I'm sure if I were to try to get everything on the screen, then it would be annoying, but I don't, so it wasn't. And a little bit of dickery there. Don't know what any of this bullshit was that I'm doing here. And I was too busy futzing around on this fucking stair to have time to do anything here, so just kind of took the L and went on my merry way. I really am bad at stringing together combos of these enemies, which is bad because there are several missions later on, including in either this or the next video, that include doing just that, or at least you're significantly better off with the mission if you manage to do it. Anyway, now we're back to the switching on beat thing. And yeah, it's like pretty simple. It's not a whole bunch of time on each one, so, you know, if you need it to be one way, you don't have to wait all that long. And they don't really give you anything where you have to move, like, ridiculously quickly in order to be okay. I'm not sure what I was going for there. It's always weird watching my own gameplay from the past, because, it's just like watching my decisions disembodied into a digital person. Does that make sense? You get what I'm going for. Anyway, so there's that. And I think we're doing the ghost level next. In which case, I don't have a whole bunch to say about that. But I do have one thing that I've been thinking about today, and that is the trailer for the new Marvel movie. That's right, if you, on your Tim's Let's Play videos bingo card, if you put you put a chip, I don't know where I'm going with this joke. I'm gonna talk about how fucking Marvel movies are shitty again. That's what I was saying. I'm doing a gag. Anyway, a lot of I'll preface this with I don't begrudge anybody who likes Marvel movies. I don't care. It's fine. I kind of wish that, other stuff would get made. I wish that you could make a movie with a big budget that is in theaters that makes money about literally anything else, but that's cool that it's completely saturated all of pop culture, and it's really annoying and everything. I'm fine with all of that. But so yeah, there's a new one coming out in November called Eternals. I do not know what it's about. From what I can gather, it is about a team of interdimensional or across time, I'm assuming, because they're called the Eternals. A group of superheroes, a super group, if you will. And I think their thing is telekinesis is their thing. I saw a lot of floating stuff around and wizardry and whatnot. Anyway, so that's coming out in November. It's directed by Chloe Zhao, who did Nomadland, this year's Best Picture winner at the Oscars, which I don't know if I've ever talked at length about in a video. I didn't do a review of it. But I don't like it very much. I certainly don't like it as much as many movie people who get paid to write about movies do. I just thought it was rather bland, and I had a lot of different problems with it. But anyway, this movie is a little bit adapting that film's aesthetic as far as it's doing scenes that have natural lighting and stuff like that. Lots of sunsets and things like that. And so there's a bunch of people on the internet, Marvel people and just movie people in general, who are talking about how gorgeous it looks and stunning and beautiful, and it makes me cry. It makes me weep. And they'll just they'll share screenshots of 8 gray people on a gray beach and and just standing, and they'll be like, look at this cinematography. This is going to be the best movie that's ever been made. And yeah, I can't get excited about it. I don't know if I'm missing something, but even the colorful shots that have things that are colorful in them, which I think that might be where people are getting confused. Because there's someone made a joke on Twitter, and this is, to be fair, this is a kind of overdone joke among film Twitter people who shit on Marvel all the time, and I even myself find it kind of tiresome to clown on it all the time, because after a while I think it kind of falls on deaf ears. but at the same time, like I said, it is like completely saturated pop culture. It's not like there's much of anything else that people are watching or talking about, other than your monthly like big Netflix thing that everyone is watching. But anyway, yeah, even the colorful shots. Oh wait, I'm like jumping all over the place. The person made the joke, and the joke was, they said, "I remember when movies were in color." Commenting on how kind of like flat and gray a lot of the movie in the trailer looks, and how a lot of Marvel movies look, even the ostensibly good-looking ones. Like whenever people share the screenshots from Endgame, where they're like, "It's so beautiful," and it's just this like smeary brown mess. And I don't know, even this one, it looks like muddy and desaturated and like dingy, and I don't know, it's just kind of like unappealing and not very vibrant. And when you compare it with like the pages of the comics that it's based on, like, I don't know, I feel like, not to say that every comic book movie needs to be exactly like the comics, but movies are a visual medium, and I don't know, I feel like things just they don't look good. They don't look good anymore, I don't know. I can't explain it beyond describing it the best way I can, which is that it's muddy, it looks desaturated, the blacks aren't, like complete, and so you don't get like true silhouettes. And again, even like, there are a bunch of people who responded to the "I remember when movies were in color" thing with pictures of the screenshots from the trailer of like, they're in a big blue room, or there's a scene with like people dancing and they're wearing colorful dresses, and there's like, it's like a big red floor that you're looking down on, I think, and as like a counter. But the thing is, like, even those shots look like flat, and yes, there are colorful things in the shot, but like, that's different than the color of the film itself, you know what I mean? Like, just because you shoot something that is red, like, by virtue of the way that you shoot and color grade the scene is going to affect the actual color of the film. It's not going to be necessarily as vibrant a red as just the fabric is on its own looking at it, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, it's like, no big deal, like, not trying to just be a hater and yuck everybody's yum. I'm just saying, I don't see it, and I think people are being a little silly. And also just taking the moment to once again lament the fact that I just think that the like baseline level of quality of filmmaking, like and the like in-house style of movie making of like big Hollywood productions now is very poor compared to previous times. So I'll leave you with that. Anyway, we are now Boo Mario, which is pretty cool, although it's like 80% bumping into shit, even if you're like doing it well. Doing it well. Yeah. Speaking of culture of the past versus now, this is not exactly the type of thing that I normally like talk about in my videos. I'm not a big celebrity gossip guy, mostly because a lot of the celebrity gossip we get now sucks. Like, I don't really know how to explain why, but I don't know. First of all, it doesn't help that a lot of our celebrities are like 2, so I don't really fucking care. And yeah, most like big celebrity news that you get is that, like, you find out that someone that you like is horrible, and that's about it. That's like the only genre of celebrity news that exists anymore. Or it's like a celebrity coming out and being like, I have imposter syndrome, or whatever. But we've been getting a little bit of classic celeb tabloidiness with the apparent resurrection of Bennifer, of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez apparently dating again, and she is wearing the ring or necklace or whatever that he bought her in 2002, back when they were, probably the biggest celebrity couple at the time other than Brangelina. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I think they were together around that same time. And I don't know if Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise had gotten divorced yet. I think it probably was. Because I think Nicole Kidman divorced him shortly before the movie The Hours came out, and that was in 2002. And Bennifer were going past 2002 because they filmed Jiggly together, which came out in 2003, which is an awful movie. Anyway, I am totally for it, and I've loved all of the, weird pictures of them that have come out, of them, hanging out and, very obviously coming back from having sex. And, just the fact that they're together is very funny for both of them as the personae that they are, and it just really takes me back to a different era of celeb news and pop culture in general. And I'm hoping that something that I said to someone around November time last year, that I hope comes true. Not only because then, I can't believe I missed that by one fucking coin. You gotta be sucking me, man. I do not really like this level. I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm not a huge fan of sand levels in games, and particularly in Mario games. For some reason, they're always really fucking annoying, and I don't like sand. Insert your Star Wars prequel jokes here. But I actually don't like sand. And when I say that, I mean I don't like sand IRL. Anakin had it completely right. It's rough and coarse and gets everywhere, and that is accurate, and those are reasons why I don't like sand. Of all of the types of ground, it's not my favorite. And I also don't like it in video games because it usually does stupid shit like this. Anything in a video game that makes you move slower is stupid. I don't know, I just don't like how it looks. It's just dust. And, yeah, the only time that sand is cool is in, a Technicolor Western, or when it's moon sand. You also can't crouch on this sand, so you can't do any of your sick jumps. You can probably do a triple jump if you have coordination and timing, but unfortunately, Tim is playing the video game. For some reason, I thought this would be a planet that you can walk on all the sides of, but I'm pretty sure you would just fall off and die if you did that there. Which is kind of stupid if you think about it. I mean, why isn't this game consistent with whatever? I mean, I guess you could make whatever argument about the center of gravity or bullshit, but I mean, it also does not matter because this game doesn't make sense, nor does it have to. I do like this part, however, even though it's a little bit unnerving because you can't see what is in front of you. I just think it's really cool. It's just a neat little moment. You're going real quick, and these big smiley guys are gonna kill you, and they kind of look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And then at the end you get all of these star bits, you get all these Starbucks, and then the thing narrows and you're like, oh fuck, what's happening? And you get a bunch of coins. Yeah, it's just a neat little thing. And here's me kicking rocks and thinking that something interesting will be over here, and then it not doing that. But I did cave and get one of these things because I knew there was a boss coming up, and I knew that the boss was probably going to lick my ears. Anyway, the thing I was gonna say that I, predicted or said was going to happen, and that I now hope is going to happen, not only because I want to be right, but also because it would be personally enjoyable for me, that is that the Joe Biden era will give us a cultural reset to the 90s and 2000s. I think the 90s reboot era of culture in terms of movies and TV and music and stuff is already starting. I think we're in a little bit of a transitionary period. There's still a lot of people doing a lot of 80s throwback stuff, especially in like pop music and stuff. But movies have been doing 80s throwback stuff for like over a decade at this point, and it's just been getting more and more explicit and honestly kind of hollow. But now I think TV is leading the way, and I think some music is, like, in throwing back to 90s stuff. I definitely see that with artists like Doja Cat and, 100 Gex, who else? Who am I thinking of? SZA. Lots of, 90s R&B sounding stuff on her, Control album. Charlie XCX, don't know if I already said that. But yeah, those have a lot of very clear 90s influences, and other influences from other decades, too, of course, but TV as well, doing a lot of reboots of 90s stuff, and there are now movies also in the works that are starting to get into 90s stuff. But in terms of, political culture and, celebrity and media culture, I think we're going to go back to the 2000s in several ways, and I don't really have the time or words in my head at the moment to articulate exactly why, but if anyone is interested in discussing that further, I can do that in future videos, but I'll leave it at that for right now. And yes, that I failed to mention this at the start of this, but that mission was called Squidward's Sandy Sinkhole, which is pretty gnarly sounding. Next time we'll do the rest of Slipsand and the rest of World 5 and all that jazz. See you then.